The jungle, with its vibrant biodiversity, is a fascinating ecosystem full of wonders waiting to be discovered. For instance, did you know that the Amazon rainforest is so vast that it produces more than 20% of the world's oxygen? This incredible natural phenomenon is primarily due to its countless trees, which absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen through photosynthesis, creating a vital balance for our planet. Moving deeper into the jungle, one might encounter the remarkable leafcutter ants, which are known for their unique ability to cultivate fungi. These industrious little creatures cut leaves, bring them back to their colonies, and use them to grow their own fungi, which serves as their primary food source, showcasing a fascinating example of symbiosis in nature. As you wander through the lush greenery, you may hear the melodic calls of the howler monkey, recognized as one of the loudest land animals. Their deep, resonant howls can be heard up to 3 miles away, making them a distinctive sound of the jungle and an important part of its vibrant chorus. If you look closely at the canopy, you might spot the elusive sloth, a creature that moves incredibly slowly, spending up to 20 hours a day sleeping and relying on its camouflage to avoid predators, which highlights the unique adaptations that help animals survive in the wild. The jungle is also home to an astonishing variety of bird species, including the colorful toucan, whose large bill is not just for show. It helps regulate their body temperature and allows them to reach fruit on branches that are otherwise too small to support their weight, demonstrating how evolution shapes the traits of different species. In the depths of the jungle, you may come across the fascinating world of bioluminescent fungi, which glow in the dark due to chemical reactions occurring within their cells. A beautiful and mysterious feature that adds an enchanting element to the forest floor. As you explore further, you might stumble upon a river teeming with life, where piranhas swim in schools, known for their sharp teeth and powerful jaws. But many people misunderstand these fish, as they are not always the fierce predators they are often portrayed to be. In fact, they can be quite shy. Furthermore, the jungle is a treasure trove of medicinal plants, with many indigenous tribes using the diverse flora for healing purposes, some of which have been studied and developed into modern medicines, showing that nature often holds the keys to our health. When it rains in the jungle, a jungle ecosystem, often referred to as a tropical rainforest, is defined by its incredible biodiversity, dense vegetation, and unique climate, which sets it apart from other biomes like forests or savannas. One of the most striking characteristics of a jungle is its high levels of rainfall, which can exceed 200 inches per year, creating a humid environment that supports a rich array of plant and animal life. This moisture, combined with warm temperatures, allows for the growth of towering trees, which can reach heights of over 100 feet, creating a multi-layered canopy that plays a crucial role in the ecosystem. In contrast, temperate forests, found in regions with distinct seasons, have a different structure, with trees that shed their leaves in the fall, while savannas, characterized by open grasslands dotted with occasional trees, experience less rainfall and have a much simpler ecological structure, where grazing animals and fire play essential roles in maintaining the landscape. Another defining feature of jungles is their extraordinary biodiversity. They are home to more species of plants and animals than any other biome on Earth. This includes countless species of birds, insects, reptiles, and mammals, many of which are found nowhere else. The dense vegetation provides numerous habitats and niches allowing for complex interactions among species, such as symbiosis and competition. In contrast, the biodiversity in temperate forests and savannas is relatively lower, with fewer species adapted to those specific environments. In a jungle, the interplay of life forms is intricate. For example, many plants have evolved to thrive in the shaded understory, while others reach for the light above, showcasing nature's creativity in adapting to different layers of the ecosystem. The soil in jungle ecosystems is often surprisingly poor in nutrients, despite the lush appearance of the vegetation. This is because the rapid decomposition of organic matter, facilitated by warm temperatures and high humidity, leads to nutrients being quickly absorbed by plants rather than accumulating in the soil. This stands in stark contrast to the nutrient-rich soils often found in temperate forests, which support a different kind of flora, and savannas, where the soil composition is influenced by the grasses and the occasional tree that can withstand the dry conditions. Additionally, the jungle's canopy plays a vital role in regulating temperature and moisture levels below, creating a more stable environment for the diverse life forms that inhabit it. The intricate relationships within a jungle ecosystem also include various forms of symbiosis, such as the partnerships between certain plants and animals. In the heart of the jungle, a remarkable tapestry of life unfolds, showcasing an incredible diversity of plant species, each playing a vital role in supporting the overall biodiversity of the ecosystem. The dense canopy is formed by towering trees, which not only provide shelter and shade, but also create unique microhabitats for countless organisms, from mammals to insects. These trees, along with countless shrubs, vines, and ferns, contribute to the complexity of the ecosystem as they interact with one another, forming a web of life that is essential for maintaining ecological balance. The diverse plant species in the jungle are crucial for various reasons. Firstly, they are fundamental in the process of photosynthesis, capturing sunlight and converting it into energy, which forms the base of the food chain. This energy is then passed on to herbivores, which in turn support carnivores, creating a rich network of life. Moreover, plants in the jungle have adapted to their environments in fascinating ways, developing unique traits that help them thrive in varying conditions, such as high humidity and limited sunlight. For example, some plants have large leaves to capture sunlight, while others have evolved to climb trees, reaching for light in the crowded forest. Furthermore, the intricate relationships between the diverse plant species and the animals that inhabit the jungle are essential for pollination and seed dispersal. Many flowering plants rely on specific animals, such as birds, bees, and bats, to transfer pollen from one flower to another, enabling reproduction. In return, these animals benefit from the nectar and fruits provided by the plants. This mutualistic relationship enhances genetic diversity, as plants that are cross-pollinated tend to produce stronger offspring, increasing their resilience to diseases and environmental changes. Additionally, the variety of plant species contributes to soil health and stability. The roots of different plants help to bind the soil together, preventing erosion and maintaining the integrity of the forest floor. Decomposing plant matter, such as fallen leaves and dead trees, enriches the soil with organic nutrients, supporting new plant growth and fostering a cycle of life that benefits all organisms within the ecosystem. The rich humus formed from decaying plant materials creates a fertile environment for seedlings, ensuring that the jungle remains vibrant and full of life. Moreover, the diversity of plants also provides habitat and food resources for numerous animals, including insects, birds, and mammals, each one relying on specific plants for survival. For instance, some animals have evolved to feed exclusively on certain plants, forming specialized relationships that, in the lush world of the jungle, canopy layers play a vital role, shaping the entire ecosystem and influencing the behavior of countless animal species. The canopy, which is the upper layer formed by the tops of trees, is not just a simple roof over the forest. It acts as a complex habitat, providing shelter, food, and breeding grounds for many creatures. This layer is home to a myriad of organisms, including birds, monkeys, insects, and even some reptiles, each adapted to life among the leaves. The way these animals behave, how they interact with one another, and their strategies for survival are all significantly influenced by their position in the different canopy layers. For instance, the upper canopy, which receives the most sunlight, is a bustling zone where many birds and flying insects thrive. Birds like toucans and parrots, with their bright colors and strong wings, often soar through this layer, searching for fruits and nectar. Their feeding habits, in turn, help pollinate plants and disperse seeds, which is crucial for the growth of the jungle. The abundance of food in the upper canopy may lead to competitive behaviors among these birds, pushing them to develop unique calls and flight patterns to assert dominance or attract mates. Moving down to the understory, which receives less light, you'll find a different set of animals that have adapted to this darker, cooler environment. Here, creatures like sloths, snakes, and various insects are common. The behavior of these animals is often more stealthy, as they rely on camouflage and slow movements to avoid predators. The dense foliage provides excellent cover, but it also means that these animals must be more cautious. For example, a sloth might remain motionless for hours, blending into the leaves, waiting for the right moment to move, while a snake might silently navigate the branches, ready to ambush unsuspecting prey. The ground layer of the jungle, rich with nutrients from decaying plant matter, supports a different community of life. This layer is often bustling with activity, as many animals, such as ground-dwelling birds, small mammals, and insects, forage for food. The behaviors of these animals are closely tied to the availability of resources in this layer, as they must constantly search for food while remaining vigilant against larger predators. The interactions among the various layers of the canopy create a dynamic environment where animals must adapt their behaviors to survive. Additionally, the vertical structure of the canopy layers affects not just the animals that live there. Jungle animals have developed a fascinating array of adaptations to thrive in the high humidity and temperature of their lush environments, where conditions can be extreme and challenging. Many of these creatures have evolved physiological traits that help them cope with the heat, such as having larger ears or thinner bodies, which allow for better heat dissipation. For example, the African elephant with its large ears acts like a radiator, releasing excess body heat into the surrounding air, while also keeping itself cool by flapping its ears. Moreover, many jungle animals have developed behaviors that help them manage the humidity. Some species, like certain monkeys and birds, are known to be more active during the cooler parts of the day, such as early morning or late afternoon, allowing them to avoid the peak heat when humidity is at its highest. This behavior not only helps them conserve energy, but also reduces the risk of overheating. Additionally, Many animals have adapted to seek out shade, often retreating to the cooler shaded areas of the forest to escape the sweltering heat. In terms of physical adaptations, some animals have developed specialized skin that helps them manage moisture. For instance, amphibians, like frogs and salamanders, often have moist, permeable skin that allows them to absorb water, which is crucial for their survival in a humid environment. However, this also makes them sensitive to changes in their habitat, as they can easily lose moisture if the environment becomes too dry. In contrast, reptiles, such as certain snakes, have scales that minimize water loss, allowing them to retain moisture even in humid conditions. Food sources also play a critical role in how jungle animals adapt to their environment. Many animals have diets that are rich in water content, such as fruits and leaves, which they can consume to stay hydrated. For instance, the sloth, which feeds primarily on leaves, can also obtain moisture directly from the foliage, allowing it to remain hydrated despite the high temperatures. Birds, too, often rely on fruits and nectar, which provide not just nourishment, but also hydration, helping them to cope with their humid habitat. Furthermore, the dense foliage of the jungle creates a unique microclimate, providing some animals with a cooler, more humid environment. Many species have adapted to this vertical habitat, climbing trees or dwelling in the canopy where temperatures may be less extreme than on the forest floor. For example, tree-dwelling frogs and various species of snakes have evolved to live in the branches, where they can find cooler spots. In the lush, vibrant jungles of our planet, countless unique and lesser-known animal species thrive, each with fascinating adaptations that make them truly remarkable. One such creature is the ai, a type of lemur found only in Madagascar. This nocturnal primate has a long, thin middle finger which it uses to tap on tree trunks, listening for the echoes of insects hiding beneath the bark. Another intriguing inhabitant of the jungle is the pygmy marmoset, often called the world's smallest monkey. This tiny primate, measuring just about 5 inches long, has a remarkable ability to blend into its surroundings, making it a master of camouflage as it navigates the dense foliage in search of insects and fruits. Then there's the Glaucus atlanticus, also known as the blue dragon, a stunning sea slug that floats on the surface of the ocean and has a striking blue color. This little creature can consume Portuguese man-o-war jellyfish and use their stinging cells for its own defense, showcasing the incredible survival strategies found in nature. In the heart of the jungle, one might also encounter the binturong, a fascinating mammal often referred to as a bear cat. Despite its name, it is neither a bear nor a cat, but rather a unique member of the civet family, known for its distinct odor reminiscent of buttered popcorn, which is emitted from its scent gland. Furthermore, the okapi, a relative of the giraffe, roams the dense rainforests of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. With its striking striped hindquarters, it resembles a cross between a zebra and a giraffe, yet it is more closely related to the latter, showcasing the incredible diversity of evolutionary adaptations in the jungle. In addition to these, the harpy eagle, one of the largest and most powerful birds of prey, reigns supreme in the canopy, boasting impressive talons and an ability to hunt monkeys and sloths, illustrating the fierce competition for survival in these biodiverse environments. One cannot forget the poison dart frog, which comes in a dazzling array of colors, serving as a warning to predators of its toxicity. These frogs have been used by indigenous peoples to poison their blow darts, highlighting their connection to human culture as well. Similarly, the leafcutter ants, which are known for their elaborate social structures and impressive ability to cultivate fungus, play a crucial role in maintaining the ecosystem by recycling nutrients and aiding in the lush, vibrant world of jungle ecosystems. The interactions between predators and prey form a crucial part of the complex food webs that sustain life. These interactions are not just about survival, but they also play a vital role in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. Predators, which can include animals like jaguars, snakes, and various birds of prey, rely on their keen senses, speed, and strength to hunt for food, while their prey, such as deer, monkeys, and countless insects, have developed a variety of adaptations to evade capture. Some prey species, for instance, have evolved remarkable camouflage, allowing them to blend seamlessly into their surroundings, making it difficult for predators to spot them. In addition to camouflage, many animals also exhibit behaviors that help them avoid being eaten, such as living in groups to confuse predators or using alarm calls to warn others of danger. Moreover, the relationship between predators and prey is often characterized by a delicate dance of adaptation and counter-adaptation, where each side continually evolves in response to the other. For example, as certain prey species become faster or more elusive, predators may develop better hunting techniques or physical traits such as sharper claws or improved eyesight. This ongoing evolution is known as coevolution and highlights the dynamic nature of these interactions. In the dense canopies of the jungle, this interplay can lead to surprising outcomes, where some species may even develop mutualistic relationships, benefiting both the predator and the prey. For instance, some birds may feed on parasites found on larger mammals, providing a service to their hosts, while also securing a meal for themselves. Additionally, the impact of predators extends beyond just their immediate prey. By keeping prey populations in check, they help prevent overgrazing or overpopulation, which can lead to habitat degradation. This regulation allows for a diverse range of species to thrive within the ecosystem, ultimately supporting a variety of plants and other organisms. The intricate connections between different species in the jungle, including those between predators and prey, highlight the importance of biodiversity and the delicate balance that sustains these ecosystems. Through their interactions, predators contribute to the health of the jungle, ensuring that it remains a rich and dynamic environment for all forms of life. Jungle plants, which thrive in the dense, vibrant ecosystems of tropical rainforests, have developed fascinating and complex chemical defenses to protect themselves from herbivores. These defenses are crucial for their survival, as they face constant threats from a variety of animals looking for a meal. Many jungle plants produce secondary metabolites, which are organic compounds that are not directly involved in their growth, development, or reproduction. These chemicals can serve numerous purposes, including deterrence against herbivores. For instance, some plants produce alkaloids, which are toxic compounds that can cause adverse effects, such as paralysis or digestive issues, in animals that consume them. This strategy effectively discourages herbivores from munching on their leaves, as the unpleasant experience teaches many animals to avoid those plants in the future. Additionally, certain jungle plants emit volatile organic compounds, which are released into the air when they sense an attack. These compounds can attract predators of the herbivores, creating a sort of natural alarm system. When a leaf is chewed, the plant can release these chemicals to signal nearby wasps or other predatory insects, drawing them to the area to help control the herbivore population. Another interesting tactic is the use of tannins, which are astringent compounds found in many plants. These can bind to proteins and interfere with digestion, making it difficult for herbivores to absorb the nutrients they need. This not only reduces the appeal of the plant, but can also lead to weight loss or illness in the animals that consume them. Moreover, some plants even have physical defenses that work in tandem with their chemical properties. For example, the leaves of certain jungle plants may be thick or tough, making them harder to chew. While also being laced with chemicals that are unpalatable or toxic, this combination can create a formidable barrier against hungry animals. In some cases, jungle plants might also produce sticky resins or saps that can trap insects, preventing them from further damaging the plant, while simultaneously releasing chemical compounds that deter additional herbivores. Interestingly, some species engage in mutualistic relationships with ants, providing them with food or shelter in exchange for protection. When herbivores approach, the ants can swarm and drive them away, while also potentially introducing their own chemical defenses into the mix. Furthermore, the diversity of plant species in the jungle means that different plants may employ various strategies, creating a rich tapestry of chemical interactions in the ecosystem as each plant adapts its defenses to defenses to defenses to. Indigenous communities living deep within the lush, vibrant jungles have developed a profound relationship with the natural world, using it not just for sustenance, but also for their traditional medicines and spiritual practices. These communities, with their rich cultural heritage, often rely on the vast biodiversity around them, drawing from an extensive knowledge passed down through generations. The jungle is a treasure trove of medicinal plants, each with unique properties that have been identified and utilized over centuries. For instance, the bark of the cinchona tree is known for its role in treating fevers and is famously linked to the discovery of quinine, a key treatment for malaria. Similarly, the leaves of the chancha piedra plant are used to support kidney health, while the roots of various other plants serve as remedies for digestive issues and skin ailments. The knowledge of these plants is not just scientific, it is intertwined with spiritual beliefs and practices. Many indigenous healers, often referred to as shamans, play a crucial role in their communities, acting as both medical practitioners and spiritual guides. They understand that the healing process is not solely about physical health, but also involves emotional and spiritual well-being. This holistic approach is reflected in the way they prepare their medicines, which can include teas, poultices, and even rituals that enhance the healing properties of the plants. Moreover, indigenous practices often emphasize sustainability and respect for nature. They harvest plants in a way that ensures their continued growth, understanding the delicate balance of their ecosystem. For instance, some tribes have rituals that honor the plants they use, acknowledging the spirit of the jungle and expressing gratitude for the resources provided. This respect for nature fosters a deep connection to the land, resulting in a rich tapestry of knowledge about how to live harmoniously within it. In addition to medicinal uses, many jungle plants are integral to cultural rituals and ceremonies. For example, certain plants may be used in purification ceremonies, while others might play a role in rites of passage or community gatherings. These practices help to strengthen social bonds and maintain cultural identity, showcasing the importance of the jungle not just as a resource, but as a vital part of their way of life. Interestingly, as modern medicine continues to evolve, there is a growing interest in the potential of these traditional remedies, which are often being studied for their efficacy and the compounds they contain. Scientists and researchers have begun to recognize the value of indigenous knowledge, often collaborating with these communities to document their practices and explore new medicinal applications. This deforestation has profound impacts on the biodiversity of jungle ecosystems, which are home to countless species of plants and animals, many of which are found nowhere else on Earth. When trees are cut down, the habitats that countless creatures rely on for survival are destroyed, leading to a reduction in wildlife populations. Many animals, such as jaguars, sloths, and countless birds, depend on the dense canopy of trees for food, shelter, and breeding sites. As these trees disappear, not only do these animals lose their homes, but their food sources also diminish, causing many species to struggle to survive. This loss of habitat can lead to increased competition for the remaining resources, which can further endanger already vulnerable species. Moreover, deforestation often disrupts the complex relationships between species within these ecosystems. For instance, the removal of certain plants can affect herbivores that depend on them, which in turn affects the predators that rely on those herbivores for food. This chain reaction can lead to a decline in species richness, as some species become extinct while others might thrive, leading to a less diverse ecosystem overall. Furthermore, deforestation can lead to fragmentation of the jungle, which isolates animal populations and makes it difficult for them to find mates or access the resources they need to survive. This fragmentation can also create edge effects, where the conditions at the boundaries of these fragmented areas are different from the interior of the forest, often leading to increased predation and competition. This change in habitat structure can favor certain species over others, often those that are more adaptable to disturbed environments, while many specialized species may struggle to cope with these changes. Additionally, the loss of trees contributes to climate change, as forests play a crucial role in absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. When trees are removed, not only is this carbon storage capacity lost, but the carbon stored in the trees is also released back into the atmosphere, further exacerbating global warming, which in turn affects ecosystems worldwide, including jungle habitats. Moreover, deforestation often leads to soil erosion, as trees and their root systems help to stabilize the soil. Without this stabilization, the soil can wash away, leading to decreased fertility and further hindering the growth of plants. This can create a vicious cycle where the loss of plant life leads to further erosion and loss of habitat. The impact of deforestation on water cycles is also significant, as trees play a vital role in maintaining the hydrological balance of their environment. The removal of forests can lead the thick canopy of the jungle plays a crucial role in shaping the environment beneath it, primarily by influencing how much light reaches the forest floor. In these lush green ecosystems, the upper layer of leaves, branches, and vines forms a dense cover which can block out a significant portion of sunlight. This phenomenon creates a unique microclimate below, where light levels are much lower than in open areas. The leaves at the top of the canopy absorb most of the sunlight, which is essential for photosynthesis, And this means that only about 1 to 5% of the sunlight actually penetrates through to the ground. As a result, the plants that grow in these dim conditions have adapted in fascinating ways. Many of them are shade tolerant, which means they can thrive with limited light, and they often have large, broad leaves to capture as much of the scarce sunlight as possible. These adaptations allow them to photosynthesize efficiently, even when the available light is minimal. Additionally, the reduced light levels can affect the types of plants that can grow beneath the canopy, leading to a diverse understory filled with ferns, shrubs, and young trees that are all specially adapted to lower light conditions. Furthermore, this thick canopy also influences temperature and humidity levels, creating a more stable environment for these understory plants. The shade helps keep the ground cooler, and the leaf litter from the canopy contributes to a rich, moist layer of soil, which is ideal for plant growth. However, the competition for light becomes fierce as plants grow taller in a race to reach the sunlight. This competition can lead to a stratified structure within the forest, with different layers of vegetation that include the emergent layer, the canopy layer, and the understory, each with distinct plant species and growth forms. Moreover, the canopy itself is not just a barrier to light. It also plays a role in the ecosystem by supporting a multitude of life, including birds, insects, and mammals, which contribute to the dispersal of seeds and pollination of plants below. The interactions between these species and the plants can further enhance the biodiversity of the jungle, as various animals help to spread the seeds of plants that would otherwise struggle to grow in the shaded environment. As the jungle matures, the dynamics of light penetration and plant growth beneath the canopy continue to evolve, creating a complex and interconnected web of life that is both beautiful and essential to the health of the ecosystem. In jungle ecosystems, symbiotic relationships abound, showcasing the intricate connections between various species. These interactions can be classified into three main types: mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. One of the most well-known examples of mutualism, which benefits both parties, is the relationship between certain species of ants and acacia trees. The acacia provides shelter and food in the form of nectar and protein-rich structures to the ants, while the ants, in return, protect the tree from herbivores and even clear away competing vegetation, ensuring the acacia can thrive in its environment. This remarkable partnership demonstrates how species can work together to enhance their survival. Another fascinating example of mutualism is found in the relationship between clownfish and sea anemones. The clownfish finds safety among the anemone's stinging tentacles, which deter predators, while the clownfish helps to keep the anemone clean by removing debris and parasites. This relationship is vital for both, allowing them to flourish in their underwater jungle. In contrast, commensalism, where one species benefits and the other is neither helped nor harmed, can be seen in the way epiphytic plants, such as orchids and bromeliads, grow on larger trees. These plants gain access to sunlight and moisture without affecting the host tree, allowing them to thrive in the crowded jungle canopy. On the other hand, parasitism is a more challenging relationship where one organism benefits at the expense of another. A prime example in the jungle is the relationship between certain types of parasitic plants, like dodder, which wrap around and drain nutrients from their host plants. These parasitic plants can significantly weaken their hosts, showcasing the darker side of ecological interactions. Additionally, some fungi exhibit parasitic behavior, infecting trees and plants, ultimately leading to their decline. However, not all relationships in the jungle are so straightforward, as some species can switch between different types of interactions depending on environmental conditions and availability of resources. Another intriguing mutualistic relationship can be observed between leafcutter ants and the fungi they cultivate. The ants cut leaves and bring them back to their colony, where they use the leaves to grow a specific fungus, which serves as their primary food source. In this way, the ants provide the fungus with fresh plant material, while the fungus offers sustenance to the ants, illustrating the complexity of life in the jungle. Furthermore, some species of birds, such as oxpeck, rivers and streams play a vital role in the life cycle of plants and animals in the jungle, acting as lifelines that support a diverse array of ecosystems. These bodies of water provide essential nutrients which are carried from upstream, enriching the soil along the riverbanks and creating fertile grounds for a variety of plant species to thrive. The constant flow of water helps to dissolve minerals and organic matter, making them accessible to plants, which in turn sustain a multitude of herbivores and ultimately higher trophic levels, including carnivores. In the jungle, many plants have adapted to grow in proximity to rivers and streams, developing specialized root systems that can absorb water and nutrients efficiently. Some plants, like certain species of grasses and ferns, have even evolved to grow in the waterlogged soils found near these waterways. Additionally, the presence of rivers and streams creates microhabitats that support diverse plant communities, fostering biodiversity. The vegetation along the banks provides shelter and food for various animals, including insects, birds, and mammals, which rely on these areas for their survival. Animals, too, depend heavily on rivers and streams for hydration, food, and breeding grounds. Many fish species, for example, use freshwater rivers for spawning, while amphibians often lay their eggs in or near these water sources, where their young can develop in a moist environment. Birds often flock to these areas, not only to drink, but also to hunt for fish and other aquatic creatures. The riparian zones those. Lush areas adjacent to rivers are teeming with life, supporting a myriad of insects, which serve as food for birds and larger animals. The flow of water also influences the movement of nutrients and organic materials, as leaves, branches, and other debris are washed into the rivers, providing food for aquatic life. This detritus serves as a crucial part of the food web, supporting microorganisms and invertebrates, which are fundamental for the ecosystem's health. Furthermore, rivers and streams help regulate temperature and humidity in their surroundings, creating a stable environment that many species depend on. During flooding events, rivers can overflow their banks, depositing rich silt and organic matter over a wide area, which rejuvenates the land and promotes new plant growth. This seasonal cycle of flooding and drying is essential for many jungle communities, ensuring a continuous supply of resources for both plants and animals. The interconnectedness of these water systems means that the health of the rivers directly impacts the entire ecosystem, making in the lush, vibrant world of jungles, survival is a daily challenge, and animals have developed an array of fascinating strategies to evade their predators. One of the most common tactics is camouflage, which allows creatures like the leaf-tailed gecko, or the stick insect to blend seamlessly into their surroundings. By mimicking the colors and textures of leaves, branches, or even moss, these animals can hide in plain sight, making it extremely difficult for predators to spot them. This natural disguise is not only about appearance, it also involves behavior, as many of these animals remain motionless for long periods, further enhancing their invisibility. Another intriguing strategy is the use of warning coloration, often seen in species such as poison dart frogs, which display bright colors to signal their toxicity to potential predators. This bold display acts as a warning, letting others know that they are not a safe meal. In contrast, some animals, like certain snakes, rely on mimicry, adopting the coloration and patterns of more dangerous or venomous species, thus deterring predators who might mistake them for something more threatening. Additionally, many jungle animals employ the element of surprise or quick escape as their main defense. For instance, the agile capuchin monkey and the fleet-footed jaguarundi can swiftly navigate through dense foliage, using their speed and agility to evade capture. Some creatures, like the tree frog, will leap away at the slightest hint of danger, while others, such as the slow loris, can freeze and go unnoticed, waiting for the threat to pass. Social behaviors also play a crucial role in survival. For example, many birds, like the red-winged blackbird, engage in alarm calling, where one individual warns the rest of the group about nearby predators, allowing others to seek shelter. Similarly, some primates, like howler monkeys, will emit loud calls to alert their troop of potential dangers, using their vocalizations to keep everyone informed and safe. In the jungle, the intricate web of life is filled with relationships that can be both beneficial and harmful. Some animals, like the oxpecker bird, form mutualistic partnerships with larger mammals, feeding on ticks and parasites while providing the host with pest control. This close association can help both parties survive, as the oxpecker gets food, while the larger animal gets a cleaner, healthier body. Furthermore, many animals have developed unique behavioral adaptations to deter predators. The pufferfish, for example, can inflate its body. Seasonal changes play a vital role in shaping the behavior and reproductive cycles of various jungle species, as the fluctuating climate, availability of food, and changes in habitat conditions significantly impact these organisms. For instance, in tropical jungles, even though the variation in seasons might not be as pronounced as in other ecosystems, there are still distinct wet and dry seasons which influence the patterns of life for many animal species. During the wet season, when rainfall is abundant, food sources such as fruits, leaves, and insects become more plentiful, prompting many animals to engage in heightened activity, foraging for resources to build up energy reserves. This increase in food availability also leads to a spike in reproductive activities, as many species synchronize their breeding to coincide with the wet season, ensuring that their offspring have access to ample food once they are born. For example, various bird species, such as toucans and parrots, time their nesting periods to align with the peak of fruit availability, providing their chicks with the best chance of survival. Conversely, during the dry season, when water and food can become scarce, animals may alter their behavior to conserve energy. Some species may enter a state of dormancy or reduce their activity levels, while others may migrate to areas where resources are still available. Reptiles, for instance, may bask in the sun for longer periods to maintain their body temperature, while mammals like monkeys may focus their foraging efforts on more abundant food sources, leading to changes in their social structures and group dynamics. The dry season can also trigger a different reproductive strategy in some species, as the competition for mates intensifies when resources are limited, leading to more aggressive mating behaviors or displays. In addition to these behavioral changes, the seasonal shifts can also affect the timing of flowering and fruiting in plants, which in turn influences the animals that rely on them for food. Pollinators, such as bees and butterflies, may become more active during certain times of the year, aligning their life cycles with the blooming of specific plants, creating a complex web of interdependence that is crucial for the survival of both flora and fauna. The synchronized timing of these events is often a finely tuned process, driven by environmental cues such as temperature and humidity, which can vary even within the same geographical area. Moreover, seasonal changes can also impact the population dynamics within jungle ecosystems. For instance, in response to seasonal variations, some species may experience population booms, leading to increased competition for. Pollinators play a crucial role in jungle environments, where the dense vegetation and diverse plant life create a complex web of interactions. In these lush ecosystems, pollinators help facilitate the reproduction of many flowering plants, ensuring that they can produce seeds and continue their life cycle. This is especially important in jungles, where many plant species are adapted to specific pollinators, forming intricate relationships that support both the plants and the animals that depend on them. Among the most vital pollinators in jungle environments are bees, butterflies, bats, and birds. Bees, for instance, are often seen buzzing around colorful blooms as they collect nectar and pollen, which are essential for their survival. This process not only aids in the reproduction of plants, but also contributes to the overall health of the ecosystem, as plants provide food and habitat for a variety of other organisms. Butterflies, with their delicate wings and specific feeding habits, also contribute significantly to pollination, particularly for plants with tubular flowers that are often adapted to their long proboscis. Bats, surprisingly, are among the most important pollinators in tropical jungles, especially for night-blooming plants. They are attracted to large, fragrant flowers that open at night and provide nectar, which is a critical food source for them. As bats feed, they transfer pollen from one flower to another, promoting genetic diversity and resilience in plant populations. Birds, particularly hummingbirds, are also key players in pollination. They are drawn to bright tubular flowers that provide nectar, and while they sip, they inadvertently carry pollen from bloom to bloom, enhancing the reproductive success of many plants. The significance of these pollinators extends beyond just the plants they help reproduce. In jungle environments, the interconnectedness of species means that the loss of a single pollinator can disrupt the entire ecosystem. For example, if a specific type of bee were to decline, the plants that rely on it for pollination may struggle to reproduce, leading to a cascade of effects on the animals that depend on those plants for food and shelter. This interdependence highlights the necessity of protecting pollinator populations, as their decline could have far-reaching consequences not just for plant life, but for entire animal communities within the jungle. Furthermore, the diversity of pollinators in jungle environments contributes to the resilience of these ecosystems. Different species of pollinators often have varying preferences and behaviors, which means that if one species is affected by disease or environmental change, others may. The soil composition in jungles, also known as tropical rainforests, is quite distinct when compared to other ecosystems, creating a unique environment that supports a rich diversity of life. In jungles, the soil is typically characterized by a thin layer of organic matter, which is essential for the growth of various plants. This organic layer consists of decomposing leaves, twigs, and other plant material which contribute nutrients, but the high humidity and temperatures in jungles lead to rapid decomposition, meaning that the nutrients are often quickly absorbed by the vibrant plant life. The underlying soil, often referred to as oxysols, is usually well drained and highly weathered, which means it has been leached of many minerals, resulting in a low concentration of nutrients compared to soils found in temperate forests or grasslands, where soils tend to be richer and more fertile. In contrast, in a temperate forest ecosystem, the soil can be much deeper and richer, containing more clay and silt, which helps retain moisture and nutrients. This allows for a greater diversity of plant species, including deciduous trees that can thrive in these nutrient-rich soils. Meanwhile, grasslands have a different type of soil composition, often referred to as mollisols, which are dark, thick, and fertile, making them ideal for the growth of grasses and agricultural crops. In jungles, the constant rainfall plays a significant role in shaping the soil. While it provides plenty of water, it also washes away vital nutrients, leading to a constant cycle of nutrient depletion and replenishment. To survive in this environment, many plants have adapted specialized root systems that can quickly absorb available nutrients, while others may form symbiotic relationships with fungi, allowing them to access nutrients more efficiently. Furthermore, the presence of mycorrhizal fungi in jungle soils helps improve nutrient uptake for many plants, despite the overall low nutrient content of the soil. Additionally, the topography in jungles can vary significantly, with mountainous areas often having different soil compositions than flat lowland regions. In mountainous jungles, soils may be more rocky and less developed, while lowland areas often have deeper, more fertile soils due to the accumulation of organic material from the dense vegetation. The biodiversity in jungles is also a factor in soil composition, as the vast array of plants and animals contributes to a complex web of interactions that affect nutrient cycling. For example, fallen leaves and dead animals decompose quickly, returning nutrients to the soil. Studying wildlife in dense jungle environments presents a variety of challenges that can significantly hinder researchers' efforts to understand the complex ecosystems within these regions. One of the primary obstacles is the sheer thickness of vegetation, which can make it incredibly difficult to navigate, observe, and access specific areas where certain species reside. The dense foliage often obscures visibility, making it hard to spot animals and monitor their behaviors, especially when many creatures are adept at camouflaging themselves within their habitats. Additionally, the humidity and heat in jungle environments can be quite oppressive, leading to discomfort and fatigue for researchers who must spend long hours outdoors, often in challenging conditions. Another significant challenge is the presence of diverse and sometimes dangerous wildlife, including snakes, insects, and large mammals, which can pose risks to researchers venturing into the jungle. The possibility of encountering venomous snakes or aggressive animals adds an element of danger, requiring researchers to be constantly vigilant and prepared for unexpected situations. Furthermore, the dense jungle can be home to a variety of biting insects, such as mosquitoes, which can transmit diseases like malaria or dengue fever, making it crucial for researchers to take precautions to avoid illness. Logistical issues also play a major role in the difficulties faced by wildlife researchers. Accessing remote jungle locations often requires extensive planning, as transportation options may be limited or non-existent. Researchers may need to rely on boats or helicopters, which can be expensive and not always available. Once in the field, the lack of infrastructure means that researchers may have to carry in all their supplies, including food, water, and equipment, which can add to the physical burden and complexity of their work. Communication can be another hurdle, as many remote areas lack reliable cell phone service or internet access. This can hinder collaboration with colleagues or limit the ability to share findings in real time, which is vital for the scientific community. Moreover, the dense foliage can interfere with the use of technology, such as GPS devices, making it challenging to track locations or movements of wildlife accurately. Additionally, researchers often encounter challenges related to funding and support for their studies in such remote and difficult environments. Securing grants or financial backing for projects in dense jungles can be tough, as the work is often seen as high risk and resource intensive. This can limit the scale of research efforts and the number of scientists who can work in these vital ecosystems. Lastly, ethical considerations play a role in wildlife research, particularly in sensitive environments where human intrusion can disrupt natural behaviors or habitats. Jungle ecosystems play a crucial role in regulating the global climate, acting as vital components of the Earth's overall environmental system. These lush, biodiverse regions, often referred to as tropical rainforests, serve as significant carbon sinks, absorbing large amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Through a process known as photosynthesis, trees and other plants in these jungles convert carbon dioxide into oxygen, which helps to mitigate the greenhouse effect and combat climate change. This absorption of carbon is especially important as it helps to reduce the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, thus contributing to a more stable climate. Additionally, jungles influence local and global weather patterns. The dense canopy of leaves in tropical forests creates a unique microclimate where humidity levels are significantly higher than in surrounding areas. This increased humidity can lead to the formation of clouds and precipitation, affecting weather patterns not only locally but also in distant regions. The water cycle is intricately linked to these ecosystems, as the transpiration process, where plants release water vapor into the air, contributes to rainfall. Consequently, deforestation of these jungles can disrupt weather patterns, leading to droughts or floods in areas far removed from the forest itself. Moreover, jungle ecosystems support a wealth of biodiversity, which is essential for maintaining ecological balance. The variety of species found in these environments contributes to resilience against climate change, as different plants and animals can adapt to changing conditions. Healthy, diverse ecosystems are more capable of withstanding environmental stresses, and they provide essential services such as soil